My friends, this is Dr. B, the best doctor in medicine. No exception, the best doctor in medicine. 30 plus years of experience in medicine. Dr. B wants to talk to you about your fatty liver. Your liver full of fat. 30% of Americans, 30% of Americans do have fatty liver. Dr. B wants to talk to you about this and what to do about it, how to find out that you do have fatty liver. Guys, it's crazy. 30%, almost 1/3 of Americans do have fatty liver. Instead of having a beautiful liver, right? Nice and beautiful, dark, beautiful organ that is very healthy, that has hundreds of different functions in our body. We cannot survive without a liver, right? We cannot. It's just impossible, because the liver has so many physiological function, metabolic functions, that it is impossible to survive without a liver, right? And 30% of Americans have a fatty liver, right? Means they have too much fat in their liver, right? The number one cause by far of fatty liver is too many calories in the food, overeating, right? Of course, there are other causes. The other one is, of course, alcohol consumption. People who drink alcohol, not only do they get fat, especially if it is beer, right? They get what we call the beer belly. They accumulate fat everywhere. In addition, alcohol, as I told you in another video, is a carcinogen and causes dementia and heart failure and blah, blah, blah. So alcohol can also cause fatty liver, accumulation of fat in the liver. But people who don't drink alcohol can also develop fatty liver, right? Because they eat too many calories, too much food. The liver is going to store the excess fat, the excess food, the excess calories, right, into the liver, into the fat, right? It's going to make it fat. Remember that the liver has many functions. One of the major physiological, natural, healthy function of the liver is what we call storage function. The liver stores iron, vitamins, fat, sugar, right, in the form of glycogen. So if I eat too much sugar, my liver is going to store that sugar, right, into a form of sugar, complex sugar that we call glycogen. So that later, when I'm fasting, it can release that glycogen back into the blood in the form of sugar, glucose. Another function of the liver is, of course, to store fat, right? But now people, they don't have periods of fasting anymore. They keep eating and eating and eating and eating and eating, right? So the liver never gets to eliminate back into the blood that sugar and that fat that it had stored in the times of plenty. Yum, yum. Give me that burger, give me that pizza, give me that burrito. Yum, yum. Oh, there's the ice cream. Oh, there's the dessert. Oh, there is this, there is that. Oh, now let's have another dessert. Oh, let's have some ice cream again. I mean, it's crazy. The whole day the guy eats 5,000 calories and he doesn't exercise, nothing. 30% of Americans have fatty liver because of alcohol and or excessive eating, right? That's why fasting is so amazingly good for you, right? Skipping meals. I, Dr. B, eat only one time per day. I have a small breakfast, that's it. The rest of the time, lunch, I have a little snack of nuts, right, with some tea. Most of the time I don't, because I'm so busy with the patients. I told the receptionist to not put me a lunch break. So during lunch, when everybody gone for lunch, I keep seeing patients. So my brain is busy. I don't eat. So I come home, I go to the gym, then I have my protein juice. In the evening, I have a little fistful of walnuts or nuts or healthy, no sugar, nothing. A little yogurt, olive oil, blah, 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 a little tea, caffeine free, and I go to bed. That's it, I'm done. Right? But people, they keep eating, right? 5 servings of fruits and vegetable, dessert, ice cream, the refrigerator full from top to bottom. No wonder why 30% of the American people have fatty liver. Guys, if you are overweight or if you are obese, make sure that you ask your doctor to send you to that imaging department to do an ultrasound, to get a probe, put it on your liver, and to look for fatty liver, because fatty liver is very bad for you. On the long term, fatty liver causes fatty fibrosis, liver fibrosis and cirrhosis. And of course, inflammation, hepatitis. Hepatitis, guys, it's crazy what people do to themselves. I mean, it's unbelievable. People just overeating, overindulging on food. And then they say, well, we need to enjoy life. But you're not enjoying life. You're committing suicide. Look at your body. Look at your belly. Look at your buttocks. Look at your hips. Look at your belly. I mean, you're just so fat. You are not healthy. You're going to have a heart attack, a stroke, cancer, cirrhosis of the liver, right? It's crazy. People like my sister, my family members, a lot of my patients who have heart failures, right? They have heart failure. Oh, we need to enjoy. What can we do, Dr. B? We need to enjoy life. Isn't there any other way you can enjoy life than stuffing your mouth 4, 5, 6 times with processed food, sugar, ice cream, cake, pizza, burgers, rice, pasta, lasagna, processed meat? I mean, it's crazy. And then they call that enjoying life. That's not enjoying life. You have your body on suicide mode. You're going to die of something in a few years. It's crazy. And that you're not going to enjoy your retirement. Guys, if you are overweight, or if you are obese, or if you eat too much and you have belly fat, make sure you ask your doctor to send you to do an ultrasound of your liver. The insurance company is not going to cover it, right? Because they don't care about you. They're going to find any excuse and they're going to say, we don't cover this kind of procedure, because they don't care that you have fatty liver, right? They're not going to reimburse it. You have to pay for yourself. And it's not expensive, 150, 200, who cares? People, they spend $300 at the restaurant to fill up their belly with food, and they don't want to spend $150, $200 to check themselves for fatty liver. I mean, it's crazy to me. I don't get it. People go into this, festival. Oh, there's a festival in that city. There's a festival in that city. They spend all this gasoline, the time, the expenses. Over there, they go to the movie theater, the restaurant, from one place to the other, they eat, they sit down, they eat again, and then they have the lunch, and then the dessert, and then this and that. By the time they come home, they have swallowed 2,000 calories and spend $400 on that weekend. Now, save that money, $150, 200, I don't know what the cuts or how much it costs, but it's about that. And call your doctor, go see your doctor over there, tell your doctor, I want to go, send me to that imaging radiology department, and it doesn't have to be a hospital, right? Private clinic, private imaging department, to do an ultrasound of your liver to see if you have fatty liver or not, especially if you are overweight and obese, right? Overweight means you have a body mass index above at 25 or above. 25 or above, you're obese, right? I apologize. 25 or above, you are overweight. BMI, body mass index. 25 or above, you are overweight. If your BMI, body mass index, is 30 or above, you are obese. Guys, 30% of Americans, if you are overweight and obese, there's a high chance that you do have fatty liver, which is a disaster, guys, for you, for your health. It's going to destroy you from within. It is eating you from within, right? So remember, measure your BMI. Get a scale if you don't have a scale at home. Guys, it's crazy how people don't even have a blood pressure monitor at home. They rely on their doctor or the nurse or the stupid medical assistant at the clinic once every 6 months to measure their blood pressure. Guys, you can go buy your blood pressure monitor for $25 at any Walgreens pharmacy. Write it online. They're cheaper than even $20, $15 you can have one. There is no excuse for anyone to not have a blood pressure monitor at home. Same thing for a scale. It's crazy how many of my patients don't even have a scale at home to measure their weight. Buy a scale, $20, $30 on Amazon, delivered at your home. Make sure that the unit on your scale, you change it from pounds to kilogram. Kilogram, right? Kilogram, not pound. Go on that scale, measure how many kilograms you weigh. Then measure your height, right? You know your height, or I'm 6 feet tall, right? You know how tall you are. Is it 5'11", 5'10"? Who the cats will care? You know your height. Divide your height by the square of your weight. So if your weight is 70 kilograms, 70 kilogram, you have to square it, power 2, right? So you divide your height, I apologize, your kilogram, oh my God, I apologize, I have to take this back. You divide your mass in kilograms, so let's suppose you are 70 kilograms, you divide it by your height in meters, not in feet. So I apologize, let me do this again. To measure your body mass index, you step on that scale and you measure your weight in kilograms. Let's suppose you are 70 kilograms, right? That's the top number, 70 kilograms. You divide 70 kilograms by your height in meters. So I am 6 feet tall. I'm going to convert 6 feet to meters, which is 1.8 meters, and I square it. So I weigh 80 kilograms. 80 kilograms. I'm going to divide 80 kilograms by my height squared. Means I'm going to divide 80 kilograms by 1.8 meters squared. That's it. And my BMI is going to turn to be less than 25, right? And I'm super healthy. Super healthy. If you have a BMI, which is your mass in kilogram, divided by your height in meter squared, the bottom has to be squared, the height in meter squared. You get what we call the BMI, body mass index. Is that is at 25 or above, you are overweight. There is a huge amount of chance you do have fatty liver. If your BMI is at 30 or above, you are obese. It's crazy. You are obese. That's it. You have a BMI at 30 or above, you're obese. The chance of you having fatty liver and being destroyed by within, from inside, that fat is destroying your liver and everything else. And if you have fat in your liver, you have it everywhere else, right? It's a disaster. High risk of dementia, neurodegenerative diseases, heart attack, stroke, cancer. It's crazy. Guys, don't commit suicide. Listen to me, follow me. So if you have a body mass index at 25 or above or 30 or above, make sure you avoid going to that restaurant this weekend. Save the money. And next time you see your doctor, or call your doctor next week, tell your doctor, listen, I want to have an ultrasound of my liver. Do not have an ultrasound of anything else. Your liver. You want to have a liver screening test for fatty liver. Make sure that you don't have a general abdominal ultrasound, because they're going to check your pancreas, your kidney, blah, blah, which is okay, but they are not going to focus on the liver. You need to have a test to look for fatty liver with ultrasound, right? So it's very, very, very important your doctor knows the specific name of the test. It's a fatty liver screening ultrasound. Fatty liver screening ultrasound. I apologize. I'm finding my words. Too much coffee, maybe. Anyways, you get my point, guys. 30%. Don't be among those 30% of American people who have fatty liver, because then it's a disaster. If you do have fatty liver after you get the results of your ultrasound, you need to sit down with your doctor and discuss with your doctor what to do about it. And there's not much to do about it other than zip it. You need to zip it. You need to do like Dr. B, go on the keto diet. I am on the keto diet. Not only am I on the keto diet, but I do daily intermittent fasts, right? So I skip the dinner, or I skip the lunch, or I skip both, right? And I have only one breakfast in the morning. Or I have a breakfast in the morning, no lunch because I'm so busy at work, and I have a little bit of nuts and walnuts and a protein juice, right, with no sugar, no salt, no nothing, right? Healthy, unprocessed, at night, right? That's it. So I do intermittent fastings almost every day. Some days I also have some nuts during lunch and evening dinner, so therefore I am not doing any intermittent fasting that day. But I don't eat any traditional dinner. It's just not going to happen, right? So even if you have fatty liver, the only solution, don't rely on freaking Ozempic. It's a poison. It's a poison you put in your body. That pharmaceutical companies, those pharmaceutical companies, they make billions of dollars selling you these poisons. The best Ozempic, and I posted a video about that, is to zip it. You need to zip it. You have fatty liver, you are overweight, BMI 25 or above, or you are obese, BMI 30 or above, you need to zip it. That's it. Right? You need to do like Dr. B, you go on the keto diet, which works perfectly for me, and you need to do intermittent fastings. Means you need to skip a meal, right? Or if you don't skip a meal, have just a few nuts, right? Little tomato paste, little walnuts, little olive oil, right? That's it. No sugar, no bread, no rice, no freaking burrito, no burgers, no pizza, nothing, right? It's a disaster what people are doing to themselves. Guys, remember, you will have to pay it for yourself, because you have to be self-pay. So you call the clinic after your doctor has made the reservation. You tell them that you will be self-pay. And because you're self-pay, they're going to say, maybe ask them, can you give me a discount because I'm going to be self-pay? I'll pay cash or credit card or check. A lot of these imaging departments, doctor's clinic, they give you discount if you pay cash, because it's a hassle to collect money from insurance and blah, blah, blah. Too much work for them. But your insurance is not going to pay this one. But I'm talking generally speaking, if you go to a doctor, any doctor, dentist, anything, if you pay cash, usually they give you a discount because it's easier to process the cash. They just put it in the bank. Whereas if insurance is involved, they need to have insurance biller and blah, 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 pay the biller a ton of money to collect the money from insurance companies. Guys, our country is bankrupt. We don't have money, $37 trillion in debt. All the states are bankrupt. The state of California is bankrupt. We don't have money, right? So we don't have the money at the federal level or at the state level to provide good quality health care, dental care, eye care, nose care, ear care, surgical care, medical treatment, surgical treatment, any cazzo you want to talk about. We just don't have the money to cover 350 million Americans, right? We are going through bankruptcy. We have now 37 trillions of national debt. It's going to get worse. Don't expect the government to cover you. It's just not going to happen. Medicare is going bankrupt. The quality of healthcare in America is a disaster. Millions of people have no insurance. Those who do have insurance, they don't get access to health care, right? Like in California, all these people on Medi-Cal, which is the Medicaid for poor people, for underprivileged people, or whatever the culture you want to call it, for low-income people, right? The state of California gives them Medi-Cal insurance. That is going bankrupt, and the legislators in California, Sacramento, are cutting back. They just a few years ago, they were so happy. Oh, we're going to provide high quality health care from the cradle to the grave to the 45 million Californians, right? These naive idiots in politician in Sacramento, California, they didn't understand how many hundreds of billions of dollars it costs to provide free healthcare coverage, universal healthcare coverage to the 45 million Californians from the cradle to the grave, including undocumented people. Like money falls from the sky, money grows on trees. I mean, these disgusting politicians who don't know anything about finance, economy, healthcare, the cost of living in California. A few years ago, they were like, oh, we're gonna give free healthcare to every undocumented alien and all Californian from the cradle to the grave. Now they are realizing that the state is going bankrupt because it costs hundreds of billions of dollars every year to provide free universal coverage to every Californians from the cradle to the grave. We just don't have the money. So it was a dream. It was their socialist dream, like, oh, look at that, and we're gonna make the rich pay. Oh, the rich people are gonna pay for, like the rich is waiting over there for the government to come grab his money. Like the rich is so stupid that there's no other place in the world to send his money. The rich guy, the billionaire and multimillionaire, is sitting over there with his money in the bank, waiting for the California politician to come and grab his money. The guy is not stupid, right? The guy is not stupid. He's not gonna put his money in the bank here so that the California politicians are gonna come grab him, right? It's just not gonna happen. It was a pipe dream. Guys, in the year 2023, we spent, guys, $4.9 trillion. Not million, not billion, trillion. $4.9 trillion on the healthcare of our 350 million population. Think about that. The 350 million Americans in the year 2023, we don't have yet the statistics for last year, which was 2024. Right now we are June 2025. We do have the statistics. It takes some time to get them for the year 2023, right? We spent as a nation 4.9, almost 5. Probably in 2024, when we get the statistic for last year, 2024, we're going to find out that we spent over $5 trillion. And still, despite spending almost $5 trillion, millions of veterans, millions of homeless, millions of drug addicts, millions of poor, millions of low income, not even they don't have insurance, but even if they do, they don't have access to health care, to quality health care, to preventive care, to surgical care, to medication, to this, to that. It's easy to say, I have insurance. Here you go, I have Obamacare. But what's the point of having Obamacare insurance or Medicare or Medicaid or Medicare if you do not have access to good quality health care, right? Or if it takes you 6 months to see a specialist, or if your knee replacement is denied by the insurance company that says you need to wait until your pain gets a little bit worse. Once your pain gets a little bit worse, we will cover the surgery, right? Guys, it would cost $10 trillion. $10 trillion. Think about that. Not million, not billion. If we wanted to cover with universal health care, free health care, government paid health care, the 350 million Americans from the cradle to the grave. $10 trillion per year. Where are we going to get the money from? Where is the money going to come from? From heaven? God is going to send us every year $10 trillion so that we can give free healthcare, good quality healthcare. I'm not talking about giving insurance, giving access to good quality healthcare to the 350 million people. It's impossible. We just don't have the money. And there's just not enough rich millionaires and billionaires, right, that we can increase their taxes or confiscate their money, right, to pay for that. Even if you were to confiscate, means you just go, you grab it, you put all the billionaires and multimillionaires in America, you put them in jail, you confiscate all their assets and their money, right? It would come to $2 trillion. $2 trillion. Means you take Bill Gates' money, Amazon, Jeff Bezos' money, the other guy's money, all these billionaires' money, right? Mark Zuckerberg's money, the Tesla billionaires' money. Even if you were to confiscate, not increase their taxes, but confiscate all the billions that they have, it would come to $2 trillion. Which would not be enough for just 1 year of coverage of 350 million Americans' healthcare. We need 10 trillion. So those idiot politicians who say we're going to make the rich pay, right, for all this money so that we can cover the 350 million Americans with universal free healthcare from the cradle to the grave. Those politicians, they are liars. Because they are buffoons. They are lying to you because they want to get elected. They care about power and money and the prestige of being elected, right? That's all they care about. They don't tell you what I just told you, that the cost of providing free healthcare with good quality, right? Not just free healthcare insurance, but providing quality access to 350 million Americans would be every year $10 trillion. We spend for now $5 trillion every year, and still it's a disaster. Right? It's a disaster, right? So, and then they tell you we're going to confiscate the money from the rich and blah, blah, blah. We're going to make them pay. BS. It's just not going to happen. This is all lies, right? So you are to a certain extent on your own. Make sure you save money from your expenses that you can avoid from your discretionary expenses. Discretionary means that you can avoid the restaurant, the movie theater, the vacation, and pay for your own screening so that you know whether or not you do have fatty liver, and then you start doing the Dr. B's diet and lifestyle. Guys, Dr. B loves you. Dr. B cares about you. Dr. B wants you to be healthy. Please follow Dr. B, because Dr. B tells you in an easy way how to be healthy, how to age gracefully, how to avoid reaching retirement age and be crippled by diseases, right? 30% of Americans reach retirement age unhealthy enough to not enjoy retirement. They have cancer, heart attack, heart failure, strokes, cardiovascular disease, neurodegenerative diseases, dementia. I was watching the news that because it's Father's Day today, that Bruce Willis is going even deeper into dementia. This guy, one of the world famous actors with hundreds of millions of dollars of fortune, now that the guy is retired, he's suffering from dementia. He can't even recognize his kids. He cannot even recognize his own wife. Young, beautiful wife, by the way. The wife is 30 or 40 years younger than him. So the guy is so lucky because he got hundreds of millions of dollars, mansions in Hollywood and all over the place, and Lamborghinis and Ferraris, because he's like, I don't know, how old is he? In his late 60s, 70s, I don't know the cat, so how old he is, but he's in retirement age. And because he's a multimillionaire, he was was able to marry a young, beautiful wife, 30, 40 years younger than himself. Good for him, but he's not enjoying it because now he has dementia because of all the nasty pesticides that he ate all his life, because of the nasty processed food that he ate all his life, right? It adds up. When you are a kid and you start eating these fruits and vegetables and processed food full of pesticides, carcinogen, well, no surprise by the age of 40, 50, 60, 70, when you are a mature adult, that they diagnose you with heart attack, stroke, cancer, dementia, neurodegenerative diseases, and heart failure, kidney failure, liver failure, right? So this poor guy is the best example of the 30% of Americans who reach retirement age with a lot of money in the bank but cannot enjoy it, all right? I love you guys. Guys, listen to me, follow me. Don't get fooled buying this weird stuff online. It's not difficult to age gracefully to stay healthy, right? You need to go on diet. You need to zip your mouth. I mean, after a certain age, right? When you're young, do whatever you want because you're always active, exercising. But once you reach, you're 40, 45, 50. I'm like 15. I'm 50, 60, 70. I mean, guys, you need to zip it, right? You need to skip some meal, right? You need to go on the keto diet or carnivore diet, whatever is good for you, right? You need to go on intermittent fastings. You need to sleep at least 8 hours a night. I sleep 9 hours. You need to exercise at least 1 hour a day. I do it 2 hours a day. You need to have a low stress environment. You need to remove stress from your work, right? You need to remove stress at home, right? At home, I have nobody. No wife, no kid, no girlfriend. Right? So isn't that easy? No stress, no headache, no hassle. I don't have to deal with the hassle of kids. I don't have to deal with the hassle of a wife. I don't have to deal with the hassle of a girlfriend. Right? So, my God, I have the time to meditate. I have the time to do my Pilates, to do my yoga. I have the time to do my stretching every day. I have the time to sleep. I have the time to read scientific journals, to stay on top of my knowledge and skills. I have the time to work 8 to 10 hours a day without having the girlfriend to tell me, where are you? How come you're working so much? Well, because I love my work. I love my patients. They are my wife and my children, right? My patients are my wives, my friends, my family, and my children, for God's sake, right? Seriously, I mean, it is great. I posted a video about the benefits of being single, guys, and I find out now the benefit, because I used to always be chasing women because I needed to have constantly a girlfriend. Oh, I need a girlfriend to show her off, and oh, look how she's beautiful and she's giving me good sex every day, blah, blah, blah. My God, I'm happy I got over that phase of my life where I needed to constantly have a girlfriend. Now, I'm not against having a girlfriend one day if it happens, right? But I'm not going constantly on these stupid websites, dating websites, ripping you off. They're all prostitutes, right? To find a girlfriend, to be happy, having sex every night, blah, blah, blah. And then you have to take her out constantly. She wants to eat. A woman, they love to fill up their mouth with different food, different restaurants. My ex-girlfriend, I had to take her constantly to restaurants. She wants to try this restaurant. The next day she wants that Mexican. The next day she wants, that Peruvian. There's the Peruvian restaurant opened up. Oh, look at that. There's a Thai restaurant that opened. Let's go try that one. I mean, she was crazy. Her whole life was centered around food. All she knew is to work just to make money. She wasn't happy at work. She had a desk job work, so she wasn't happy. The rest of her life, she was all about freaking food. She wasn't interested into learning a language, improving, learning mathematics, science, astronomy, the universe, physics, biology, nothing. Learning a music instrument. Learn to play an instrument, a music instrument. Learn to draw, learn to play chess, learn to play bridge, learn to carve wood. She was absolutely interested on nothing, just work. Look at the clock, it's 4 o'clock, disappear, call me, oh, let's go have dinner, and then let's go watch a movie, and then constantly on these stupid fake news stuff, those social media. Her life was just empty, just like a dog. Just have fun. enjoy life. Just eat, have sex, and sleep. And then go work, come back, eat, have sex, enjoy, go watch a movie, go this, go that. And I had to take her all the time on weekend getaway, constantly from this place to that place, that hotel to this hotel, this city to that. It would never end, right? It just never end, like a kid, like a kid. She could not find happiness in something that is, go volunteer at the church, for God's sake. Volunteer at your mosque. Volunteer at your synagogue. Go volunteer at the homeless shelter. Volunteer at the hospital. Volunteer, there's so millions of... at the food bank, right? Volunteer at the Salvation Army. Do something other than just being like a dog, enjoying life. Then now, what's the difference between you and a dog, right? There's no difference, right? No difference. I love you guys. Please get back to me if you have any questions, comments. Put them down there. Dr. B loves you. Dr. B really loves you. And Dr. B went into medical school because he loves humans. He loves medicine, science, all healthcare sciences. It doesn't matter whether it's medicine, biology, biochemistry, molecular biology, cellular biology, everything. I love it, guys. Get back to me, and I hope to talk to you in the next video. Bye-bye.